Now at 6 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, authorities search for a man suspected in a deadly shooting.
Fourth time's the charm. The Senate tries again to end the government shutdown. The latest ahead.
And fishers from across Texas head to Matagorda Bay for a first-of-its-kind tournament with big money on the line.
And we had some showers roll through the Crossroads region, but what is it going to look like tomorrow? I'll be talking about that coming up.
And the Calhoun Sand Crabs volleyball team battles top-ranked Beeville Jones Trojans in a 4A district class. A preview tonight's contest later on in sports.
You're watching 25 News now at 6. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Shauna Curry.
And I'm Don Brubaker with breaking news tonight.
A manhunt is underway in Victoria County for a man suspected in a deadly shooting in Telfner.
25 News Now reporter Ray Mosley has more details from Telfner.
Victoria County Sheriff's deputies responded to a call about a home here in the 100 block of Miniature Road Friday morning. When they got here, they found a woman who died from a gunshot wound. Deputies say the suspect, Sane Gavin, fled on foot before they arrived. They searched the area for Savin, described as an Asian in his 40s wearing a gray hoodie and gray pants. Authorities say he is also dark complexed with a ponytail and visible tattoos. A nearby school and business were also secured during the search. Authorities say this is an isolated event, but encourage residents to stay alert. Reporting in Telfner, Ray Mosley, KAVU TV, 25 News Now.
Victoria County Sheriff Justin Marr just now finished a press conference with an update on details from the situation. They say they are still actively looking for Sang Savin, who also goes by Vinny Pho. They have obtained an arrest warrant for murder out of Victoria County for Sang, and they say that he is in the country illegally and also wanted out of Los Angeles for a murder there in 2022. They are going to have an increased law enforcement presence throughout the area all through the night, looking for him, protecting the community. And they say if anyone sees him or knows where he is, do not try to apprehend him. As far as the victim, we know that she is a 47-year-old female, and the sheriff says that Sang and the woman had a roommate type of relationship.
And we'll have more on our website, crossroadstoday.com. Part of John Stockbauer was closed as crews repaired downed power lines. Around 11:30 this morning, an 18-wheeler leaving a parking lot caught a power line near the 3400 block of John Stockbauer. The line snapped and in the process brought down 2 nearby utility poles. No one was hurt. Victoria Police, the fire department, and AEP crews were on the scene working to clean things up and get the power situation under control. John Stockbauer Drive was shut down between Leary Lane and Mockingbird Lane, but it has reopened for traffic.
The first ever Velocity Power Sports Fishing Tournament is setting sail tomorrow as fishers from across Texas compete for the grand prize. The tournament is the first of its kind, adding the requirement of having a personal sea craft, usually set only for open water tournaments. This tournament is set in Matagorda Bay as boats launch from the Port O'Connor Fishing Center. First place earns a $2,000 prize and other merchandise. The top 7 finishers win cash prizes.
We wanted to do something different. And they happened to hit one right up my alley because I'm on the saltwater every weekend. And so it's one of those things where we're definitely looking forward to the future with it. I'm absolutely excited.
Our business
Check-in begins at 5:45 a.m. and boats launch at sunrise. Official rules can be found in the events list tab on their website at atzp.com.
Well, we had about 2 showers here at the station, about 3 hours apart this afternoon, like in the noontime hour around 3 o'clock. We got some rain.
Yeah, it turned everything outside into a sauna. So let's go to Jacob Lozano for a first look at our forecast. And Jacob, if anyone's headed down to Tejas Fest either tonight or tomorrow, do we need to bring an umbrella?
Tonight, no. Tomorrow, yes. Tonight, the shower activity has diminished and has well moved down south along the 59 corridor there, but it was a nice little rain. I know I was talking with Parker. He didn't get rain at his house, but I told him we got 2 shower pop-ups that had popped up here at the station, so he wasn't too happy about that. But right now, not too much going on the radar other than a couple little fading shower there towards Cuero, and as well as that outflow boundary pushing down south there. But the rainfall totals we saw right around half an inch of rain. Nothing too crazy, nothing a little bit over than an inch. I think there was probably closer to an inch just south of Refugio there. But here within the county, though, a little bit less than half an inch there. But if we look at Bloomington, they got about half an inch rain there. And I know they have the game of the week this week at Bobcat Stadium, but with all the shower activity moving down south, we're going to have mostly clear skies for the game, getting around 79 degrees to the start of the game. So good luck to them. But we're going to be talking about this weekend as well as what's coming for next week coming up. Shauna?
If you want to vote in the upcoming November 4th election, you have until Monday to get registered. This year, Texans will weigh in on 17 proposed changes to the state constitution, plus local and special elections depending on where you live. Secretary of State Jane Nelson is urging everyone to plan ahead, starting with making sure you're registered. Just go to votetexas.gov to check your status or print out a registration form. Early voting runs October 20th through 31st, and again, Election Day is November 4th. Refugio County Judge Gila Pointer is officially running for re-election. First elected in 2023, Judge Pointer says she's committed to keeping Refugio County moving forward with a focus on infrastructure, emergency preparedness, and economic growth. She says her Horizon Refugio 2036 plan will guide smart development, especially as the county gets ready for the I-69 relief route. Pointer is also known for her legal background, community work, and open-door leadership style. They say if at first you don't succeed, try again. Well, today, the Senate is trying a fourth vote on the same spending bill.
It's unlikely to pass. Democrats and Republicans cannot seem to agree on how to fund the federal government. Until they do, it's staying closed, as Amy Kiley reports.
Today, the Senate is voting on the same GOP funding bill that already failed 3 times. Democrats are expected to block it once again.
We haven't wanted to negotiate. We just want to keep the government open.
We are ready, we are willing, we are able to sit down with anyone, anytime, any place.
Senate Majority Leader John Thune says he's considering a talk with Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer. In the meantime, if today's vote fails, Thune says he'll hold another one Monday on that same funding bill.
We are asking Democrats to do nothing more than pass a clean, nonpartisan bill to fund the government for a few more weeks so that we can get back to bipartisan appropriations work.
Democrats say they don't want to keep voting on the same legislation. They want to negotiate changes. They say their primary goal is to stop health care premiums from going up for people on Obamacare.
Enact a spending agreement that actually meets the needs of the American people while at the same time addressing the Republican health care crisis.
Meanwhile, the White House says President Donald Trump plans to fire thousands of federal workers during the shutdown. 2 officials say that could start today or this weekend.
We're going to look at agencies that don't align with the administration's values that we feel are a waste of the taxpayer dollar.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
On the border, federal agents are still showing up for work, but without pay. Border Patrol and Customs officers continue patrolling and inspecting vehicles at international bridges, even as their paychecks are delayed. The shutdown comes as migrant encounters in the Rio Grande Valley have surged, the highest of any sector on the southwest border. And while millions were recently set aside for joint border security programs, that money is now frozen until the government reopens.
The Pentagon released new video of a deadly U.S. strike in the Caribbean this morning. The footage shows a boat off the coast of Venezuela hit by U.S. forces. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says the strike, ordered by President Trump, killed 4 people aboard a suspected narco-trafficking vessel tied to terrorist groups. No U.S. forces were harmed. It's the 4th American strike in the region since September, as questions grow over the legality of the operations and rising tensions with Venezuela. President Trump is giving Hamas until Sunday evening to accept a peace deal or face what he calls an unprecedented military onslaught. The plan, already accepted by Israel, requires Hamas to release remaining hostages and disarm, while Israel halts its offensive, withdraws troops, and allows aid into Gaza. Key mediators say parts of the proposal still need work, and Palestinians remain skeptical.
A key coastal monitoring station in Copano Bay is back online 8 years after Hurricane Harvey knocked it out. Texas Land Commissioner Don Buckingham announced today that the Ticoon station, part of the Texas Coastal Ocean Observation Network, has been fully rebuilt. It tracks real-time data like tides and weather, which can be crucial during storms and other emergencies. Buckingham called it a big win for coastal safety and resilience, saying it's all part of the state's push to better protect and understand the Texas coast.
The Texas A&M University System Board of Regents appointed former System Vice Chancellor for Government Relations Tommy Williams as interim president of Texas A&M College Station. Williams, a 1978 graduate of Texas A&M and a former state legislator, will serve in the role while the board conducts what they call a careful national search for the next permanent president. Williams replaces former President Mark Welch, who resigned after the fallout over a viral video showing an A&M student confronting a professor over a gender identity discussion.
Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. Stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 6, families challenge a controversial classroom requirement in Texas.
Also ahead, the state cracks down on THC sales. The details next. Families and faith leaders across Texas are suing to block a new law that requires public schools to display posters of the 10 Commandments in every classroom. The measure, signed by Governor Greg Abbott, took effect September 1st, but federal judges have already put it on hold in some districts. The ACLU says the lawsuit represents families from multiple faiths and non-religious backgrounds. Supporters insist students can simply ignore the posters, while critics say it threatens religious freedom and could alienate students. A similar law in Louisiana was struck down earlier this year. Texas State Health Agency approved an emergency rule on Friday to ban hemp license holders from selling THC products to anyone under 21. It's the first step toward fulfilling an executive order by Governor Abbott that called for stricter regulation of the products. The emergency rule requires sellers of consumable hemp to verify with a valid ID that a customer is at least 21 years old. Violations may lead to the revocation of a license or registration. The rules are effective immediately. Tonight, a story of survival and gratitude, how one woman's search for a nurse stretched nearly a decade before finally bringing them face to face again.
Nicole Nielsen has the story.
It was 8 years ago this month when what should have been a joyful day for Sheltu Amana, welcoming her second child, quickly became a fight to live.
I thought I'm gonna die and the baby's gonna die too.
At 39 weeks, her uterus ruptured. And the chaos, she remembers one nurse who never left her side.
Thinking like, this baby's not doing well at all and I need to intervene and we need to get this baby out really, really quickly.
Minutes away from disaster, an emergency C-section saved them both. But in the panic, Sheltu never caught the nurse's name who alerted the doctors to what was wrong.
3-4 months later, I really need to go back and see the nurse, and that's when I started looking, what was her name? I forgot.
For years, she asked the staff at Texas Health Presbyterian Dallas if they could help her find her, but they never could figure out who was the nurse that day.
Keep saying her name was Dina or something, and it's we don't know that person.
Until recently, she found an old photo that changed everything.
So her little face on the picture, background of my baby's picture, but I was okay, I'm gonna go back and look for her.
Ironically, Sheltu had just started working as a nurse at the same hospital. And this summer, she finally reunited with the woman who saved her life.
I saw her face light. I'm like, that is her. And I couldn't stop crying.
That day and that story is stuck with me. It was honestly one of the most incredible moments I've had in my career. I've been an L&D nurse for 23 years.
That baby she once feared she'd lose, Aaron. He's now 8, smart, strong, full of life. 2 nurses, 1 story, and a bond 8 years in the making. While Shaltu says she can finally be at peace, having spoken the words she's held on to for 8 years. Thank you.
Seeing her saying thank you was like what I wanted to. And that happened finally.
The FDA granted conditional approval for a drug meant to prevent New World screwworm infestations. The agency authorized limited use of an injectable drug that aims to treat New World screwworm larval infestations and prevent reinfestation for 21 days. It has the same active ingredient as a drug that's already approved to treat certain parasites in cattle and swine. The FDA said this new drug qualifies for conditional approval because it targets and treats a serious or life-threatening disease in cattle.
If you have trees on your property, you will likely be raking up leaves this fall. Maybe not yet, but in a few weeks. But you don't have to dispose of them in trash bags left out for the garbage truck.
ABC Ginger Z explains why you should try composting your fall waste.
The change in autumn leaves is transforming our landscape, and it's only a matter of time before they fall, pile up, and people obsessively rake and get rid of them. But before you do that, know that there is an important movement to leave the leaves.
Leaves from deciduous trees in the fall, it's a big volume that comes in a short period of time. What we really want to get away from is generating that amount of material and sending it to landfills.
In the U.S., we generate more than 35 million tons of yard waste per year, according to the EPA. That's a little over 200 pounds per person. That waste is a total waste. When you put leaves, grass clippings, and dead-headed flowers in the trash, they never break down in the landfill. They get mummified forever, sandwiched between other non-organic material. The better bet? Compost them. If you do that, the yard waste goes back to the earth, becoming nutrient-rich soil. When you leave the leaves, or at least keep them somewhere on your property, you also create habitat for insects like fireflies. It reduces the need for commercial fertilizer, plus makes our earth more resilient to extreme rain and extreme drought that have been amplified by human-induced climate change.
It can infiltrate into the soil better when we do have very intense rainfalls, but it also helps hold on to moisture for those drier times.
Composting is easy to do in your own backyard.
You can get away with just doing a pile in your backyard, typically building that pile up to maybe 3 to 4 feet high. If you're adding something like food waste, it's important to have some kind of, not necessarily, it doesn't have to be an actual container, pallets that have a hardware cloth or screen around it so that vermin can't get in.
Balancing the right mixture of leaves and other components may take some trial and error, but the process can be fun, and more importantly, it helps the earth. With this Climate Minute, I'm Ginger Z.
I wish it felt like fall, just like in that video. But 91 degrees was our high for today, 99 in 1924. We didn't really get much rain at the airport, but we're already talking about the coastline because this full moon could impact it in some sort of way. I'll be talking about that coming up after this. Welcome back, Crossroads. We got the Hunter's Moon or the Harvest Moon, whichever one you want to call it, but that's October 6th and 7th. It's going to be a super moon, so it'll be a little bit bigger there, about 14% bigger than normal there. But this is our October full moon for us, and the reason it got its name, well, the brighter light extended the hunting hours back then, so very cool. But for us, it's actually going to be causing some coastal flooding issues there. A coastal flood advisory up till Sunday morning here for the weekend because of the astronomical high tides as well as the swell energy. We've got a mid-upper level low out here towards Louisiana. That's going to continue to push out closer towards the Houston area as high pressure shrinks down south towards Mexico. That low pressure's got some opportunity to bring us some more shower activity for us here in the Crossroads. But if you look behind it, high pressure is going to be soon following it once again there for us. So temperatures will also be increasing. Now for the shower activity, pretty much done for it for the day here. It started to really diminish here for us there. So by 9 p.m. we're just going to see relatively clearer skies there. But there it is again, starting to pick up once again there for Saturday morning along the Texas coastline as that mid-upper level load starts to track towards the Houston area there. So we're going to be watching for the shower activity to pick up there. But as we head towards the afternoon time, we're going to start to see more of that isolated shower activity, kind of like what we saw today, but just not to the extent that we saw it today. So if you're going out to Tejas Fest, giving it about a 20% chance for some rain. More in the afternoon time is where I would see that. So by 4 p.m. we start to see isolated pockets beginning to pop up across the Crossroads. But as we get towards 6, 7 o'clock, it will once again die down there. And well, because of that mid-upper level low, we'll start to see a little bit more shower activity more along the coastline there. But if we look at the other model there, this is a little bit extended farther out but with still the same higher resolution. We can look out towards the Houston area and Galveston area. We start to see that counterclockwise rotation there, almost like a tropical cyclone, but it is tropical moisture, so it does have that characteristic there to have that counterclockwise rotation. So Monday, 1 a.m., there it is right there, and we can start to see it ravel through the Houston area, very cyclonic-like. But it also depends where it lands. It depends on how much rain we will actually see and get here. As of right now, it's looking like cloud cover will be picking up there for the Monday time frame with maybe an isolated shower there. So keeping about 30% for right now. But if it moves a little bit farther south, you could see those rain chances actually increase for us here. Now, temperature-wise, though, for tonight, getting to 76 there by 10 p.m. But tomorrow morning, starting off our morning at 71 degrees into the upper 60s farther up north. And by 10 a.m., getting already to the 80s there, and by noontime, 86 for us here in Victoria. And we're going to actually be scraping that 90-degree mark once again there. So 90 here in Victoria, 92 up in Cuero, 86 there in Port Lavaca. And by 10 p.m. there Saturday, 76. It'll be cooling down here just a little bit, but the humidity, unfortunately, is rising because of those easterly winds. And that's pretty much what's going to be dominant. We're starting northeasterly to east-northeasterly to east-southeasterly. So getting that moisture or that humid air back in. So mostly sunny skies, 20% chance for some rain. Port Lavaca seeing those same conditions as well. We're about 90 degrees there, as well as Cuero getting to those sunny skies with a 20% chance for rain in the afternoon time. But the next 7 days, temperatures will be increasing when high pressure moves back in over us here on Tuesday. But with that mid-upper level low, we have rain chances for about 30% here Sunday and Monday. We'll continue to watch that. Now, don't forget to scan the QR code for more news, weather, and sports. And we're sending it back to Shauna.
All right, well, hopefully the showers have ended for football tonight. Let's send it over to Max Williams for a preview.
That's right, Shauna. Hopefully we can stay dry here for week 6 of high school football, because after the break, we're going to hear from weekend sports anchor Ray Robinson about crucial district contests or game of the week. So stay right there. Everyone, we reach week 6 of high school football season. Tonight's game of the week will be between the Flatonio Bulldogs facing the Bloomington Bobcats. Again, heading in this match for Bloomington, they're 4-1 overall and 1-0 in district play. This game will start at 7:30 p.m. and our 25 News Now weekend sports anchor Ray Robinson is at Bobcat Stadium tonight to see if the Bobcats can go 2-0 in district. So, Ray?
I mean, Max, can you believe that we're already just in week 6? But your game of the week brings us here to Bloomington, where they are continuing to build upon their recent success these past 2 seasons. And against an opponent like Flatonia, this district matchup sets forth some great opportunity. And as we've seen prior weeks, Bloomington has a better record, 4-1, but Flatonia's 3-2 record isn't bad. But when you count their recent one against Ganado 46-0, you can expect Flatonia to come out fighting and swinging hard and bring in some tough competition. But as we've seen in weeks prior, Bloomington has shown that they got some size up front. And if you look at their rushing offense, they averaged 228 yards these last 6 weeks. And I think they're going to bring that same type of energy and size tonight. And you can expect these stands to be full come 7:30. Kickoff is at 7:30 p.m. But make sure you tune in at CFL for highlights, results, and more. Reporting in Bloomington, Ray Robinson, KAVU, TV 25 News Now, Sports.
All right, thanks, Ray. Bloomington has looked to reach the postseason because they have not got there since 1999. So see if they can get the job done and keep their season alive here in the month of October. Now over to Friday night volleyball action with the Calhoun Sandies hosting the Beeville Jones Trojans tonight. And this game, again, went done just a little bit ago. Calhoun then got the victory there in 3 sets and got some big production from their players. So props up there for the Calhoun Sand Crabs. They're going to be back in action there this Tuesday. Over to Goliad as they're going to host currently right now the Luling Eagles here before their homecoming game against Pulaski that will start there at 7 p.m. The Tigers on the team got to keep an eye on Addison Gentry and on the offensive side Carolyn Youngblood. So on the defense. But the player we also really got to watch out is Isabel Sanchez. She's like Zoe Henning for the St. Joseph Lady Flyers. The offense trying to get big-time plays, especially district victory over Luling. And finally, let's check out a couple games that are going to be starting up here in a matter of moments. Toria West is heading out to face the Fort Kebner Cougars tonight, and this game will start up just in a matter of moments, so we'll get you a final score for that game, as well as Victoria East as they battle Richmond Randall High School on the road tonight. That tip-off will start as well at 6 p.m. And that's going to do it here in sports. Don, Shauna, back to you.
Max, thank you. We're back in a moment. Hey, have you thought squirrels only looked for acorns? You will change your mind next. And finally tonight, it's opening day of the Carolina Classic Fair in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Look at him going. The Twiggy, the water skiing squirrel, was a featured attraction. Besides the rides and exhibits, there's a lot of entertainment to check out, including perhaps the most famous rodent besides Mickey Mouse. Really? Okay. Twiggy, the water skiing squirrel, made an appearance as fair organizers opened the gates this morning. Twiggy is known around the world as the wildest, furriest show on water. The Carolina Classic Fair runs through October 12th. Good job, Twiggy. Oh, my goodness.
I wonder if we'll see anything like that downtown this weekend during
I mean,
Tejas Fest.
Well, if you see any pools of water around the De Leon Plaza, let us know, and then we'll see. Now, of course, the big question about it.
Yes.
It's not riding on you, Jacob, really. You know, the weather for a Tejas Fest. It's
No,
not.
I
You're just telling us what's
understand.
gonna
I
be.
understand. And I'll try to be as truthful as I can with this.
Please.
It's going to be a bit warm. It's going to be a bit humid. And we do have a 20% chance for an isolated shower, a little bit spotty. It won't be like what we saw today, but it's going to be hit or miss. So you may just want to pack that umbrella, but it's only going to be in the afternoon time. We'll be good within the morning. So
So in the morning, we have the Alzheimer's Walk as well at
Oh,
Texas
yes.
A&M University Victoria. So
All
things
good.
look clear for that.
yes, it should be all
Okay.
good.
There you go.
All right, then I won't worry about taking an umbrella.
And a bunch of us, by the way, from 25 News Now will be downtown for Tejas Fest. I will be there with my lovely wife, Cecilia, from 2 to 3 in our booth. So come out, and with Carolina Astrain from Sunrise. So come on out and check us out. And it's going to be a lot of fun downtown.
Yeah, I start at the Alzheimer's Walk. I'll be emceeing in the morning, and then we'll move from there over to Tejas Fest and spend some time down there at our booth and talk to people and just, see what's going on.
Best of luck with the walk tomorrow morning.
Yes, thank you.
All right, and thank you for joining us.
We'll see you tonight for 25 News Now at 10. Until then, have a great evening.